Hey, welcome. We're going to talk about something that can feel, well, a little weird to talk about. But I promise you, this might be one of the most reassuring conversations you can have about the way your own mind works. So let me just ask you this straight up. Have you ever been just, living your life when a thought pops into your head that is so bizarre, so not you, that it actually stops you in your tracks? You know what I mean? Maybe you're standing on a train platform and your brain just whispers, what if I jumped? Or you're holding a friend's brand new baby and this awful image flashes through your mind. What if I just dropped it? Or hey, maybe you're in a dead silent room and get this wild urge to just scream at the top of your lungs. These thoughts feel, well, they feel awful. Okay, if any of that sounds even remotely familiar, I need you to hear this loud and clear. You are not a bad person. You're not weird, and you are definitely not losing your mind. What you're experiencing is real. It has a name, and believe it or not, it's incredibly common. So what are these things? These uninvited thoughts that just show up in our heads. Let's get right into it and put a name to what's going on. The official name is intrusive thoughts, and it's a pretty perfect name, right? They are unwanted, they're usually unpleasant, and they just barge into your head completely against your will. The most important part here, they are not a reflection of who you are or what you actually want to do. So why in the world does our brain even do this? Is something, broken up there? Absolutely not. It's actually a sign that a part of your brain is working maybe just a little too hard. The best way to think about it is like a spam filter for your email. Think about it. Our brains create thousands and thousands of thoughts every single day. Some are useful, some are random, some are just nonsense. And normally, our brain has this amazing built-in spam filter that catches all the weird, junk thoughts, and we don't even notice them. But when we get stressed or anxious, that filter starts to glitch. It sees a random, harmless spam thought, and instead of filtering it out, it stamps urgent on it and sends it right to your main inbox, your conscious mind. And here's the part that might just flip the script for you. The fact that your brain flags these thoughts isn't proof that you're a dangerous person. It's actually the opposite. It's proof that you care a lot about safety. That thought about jumping is so scary because you value your life. That thought about the baby is horrifying because you are so deeply committed to protecting it. It's a sign of what you care about most. Okay, so that makes sense for why they show up, but why do they sometimes get stuck? Playing on a loop, driving us crazy. Well, the reason is kind of ironic. They get stuck precisely because we fight them so hard. You've probably heard of this. If I tell you, whatever you do, do not think of a white polar bear. What's the first thing you see? Right. It's the same thing here. That awful thought pops up, you immediately get anxious and try to shove it away. But by fighting it, you're basically yelling at your brain, hey, this one's a big deal. Pay attention to this. And so your brain, trying to be helpful, just serves it up again, only louder. And boom, you're trapped in a vicious cycle. All right, so how do we break the cycle? The secret, as strange as it sounds, is to stop fighting. It's about learning how to just let the thoughts be there without giving them any power. The first tool is so simple, it almost feels like cheating. Just label it. The second that thought pops up, instead of wrestling with it, just take a mental step back and say to yourself, oh, hey, that's an intrusive thought. Or, brain spam. See what you're doing? You're not treating it like a real threat. You're just labeling it for what it is, a random bit of mental noise, not a fact. Okay, the next technique has a fancy name, cognitive diffusion. It sounds super technical, I know, but all it really means is creating a little space between you and your thoughts, so you can just look at them instead of getting all tangled up inside them. And one of the best ways to do this is with a really simple visualization. Just imagine for a second that you're sitting by a calm, flowing stream. When one of those intrusive thoughts shows up, don't argue with it. Don't push it. Just gently place it on a leaf that's floating by on the water. And that's it. Your only job is to watch. Just observe that leaf as it appears, sits on the water, and then slowly, gently drifts on down the stream and out of sight. When the next thought comes, you just do the same thing. Put it on another leaf. The goal isn't to have a totally empty mind. It's just to be a peaceful observer of your own thoughts. Now, these tools are amazing for the kind of intrusive thoughts that most of us get from time to time, but it's also really, really important to know when this might be part of a bigger issue that could use some professional support. So what's the difference? How do you know when you've crossed that line from a common brain quirk into something that a therapist could really help with? Here are a few key things to look out for. If these thoughts are eating up more than an hour of your day, if they're causing you really severe distress, or if they're making it hard to just live your life, go to work or be with family, it's time to talk to someone. And especially if the thoughts are leading to compulsions, like you have to check the stove 10 times or wash your hands over and over to feel okay, that can be a sign of something like OCD, and there are incredibly effective treatments out there for it. If you only remember one thing, just one thing from our entire chat today, please let it be this. Thoughts are not facts. It doesn't matter how real they feel or how scary they are. A thought is just a little electrical fizz in your brain. It doesn't define who you are, and it doesn't say anything about your future. So I'll leave you with this. You now have a totally new way to think about these weird thoughts. You don't have to fight them. You don't have to believe them. You can just notice them, put them on a leaf, and let them go. So what's one thought you're ready to let float away?